what's funny is talking to and teaching a lot of law enforcement guys now, when we do talk about CQB, the law enforcement guys are so hung up on pieing corners and slow, methodical clearing. And I have to explain to them, like, hey guys, here's my viewpoint on it. Do you do dynamic? And 99% of them say, no, we don't. We can't. We are not allowed to unless it's an HR, hostage rescue. So if they have a situation where they have to get in there, then they'll do dynamic. And I go, how much do you train it? Oh, well, we don't really, because, chance of us doing. I go, well, you can always slow down, but you can't speed up. If you don't practice dynamic all the time, when you have to do it, you're absolute soup sandwich.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to, it's a hostage rescue. Like, you got to get in there. And now you're clumsing over each other, two people trying to come in the door from the same direction, opposite directions that don't work. So I'm like, you need to practice that. And the other side of doing the pieing, we started doing some of that overseas for reasons, right? And we had ballistic walls. They're concrete walls inside all these buildings and mud huts and everything that are ballistic, right? They're going to stop bullets. Every single structure you have here in the United States is sheetrock, wood, little thin paper metal stuff. You're standing outside that door and you're like forecasting where you are.
Yeah.
And the right dude is just going to drop everybody outside that door because those walls don't stop bullets. So I'm like, get out of there, get through it, get in there, clear it.
Even if you're a Jedi?
Well, there's that exception, but I haven't found any in law enforcement.
Okay.
They're all of you.
Young Padawans. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never thought about the difference between the stuff that you would clear overseas and the stuff that you would clear here. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, but those guys don't even think about it. And I mean, that's the first thing I explained to them. I'm like, okay, what are you guys doing? All right, hey, let's talk about this. And they're like, oh, yeah, light bulb. Because I'm like, what happens if you get one or two dudes that go down right by this doorway? Now you got to get up there to get them. And there's bullets flying through the wall. No, just get in there and clear it. Or just stay outside and call them out. Gas them, shut the power off. I was like, don't even go in there. Like, I mean, the first rule, don't run into a firefight. If I don't have to go in there, don't go in there.
Man, I remember when that started to be like the call out started to become like a regular thing. And a lot of guys were butthurt about like, oh, what the,
Yeah.
It ain't sexy. They want to go get after it. It's the least sexy thing, but man, does it make a lot of sense. Yep. It makes a lot of sense, especially when you have the threat of S-Vest and things like that.
Yeah. And that's why we started doing it. Is that, there were pressure plates and all kinds of different stuff we run into. But the downside to it is it gives them plenty of time inside the building to do whatever, to either prep, to come out to fight, or, to destroy stuff that you need, when you're going in there. So it works, but it has its downsides too.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like two different kind of mindsets in the LEO world for hostage rescue versus. Did you have that? Because you've done a hostage rescue or two, and like, was there two different switches?
No, because everything we just do dynamic. Yeah, I mean, we do
one speed.
Yeah, but I mean, we do pie. It just depends on the situation, and that's the difference. Like, you've got to be able to read the situation, read the environment, and know when to slow down, know when to speed up. You have to read that individually on your own. Nobody is there to tell you, oh, hey, we're going to do a call out on this one. No, you start approaching and it's like, okay, something doesn't seem right. Hey, let's just go ahead and call this one out. We have concrete walls all the way around this structure, like most of the homes in Iraq. And you just sit outside there and the Terp's on the bullhorn, come out, everybody. And even then, there's been many a times where there's still one or two dudes hiding in there, and sometimes
God bless those dogs that go in and root them
send
out.
the dog first and with the camera and you look. I mean, we have all the tools that law enforcement pretty much has. I mean, some of the teams don't, right? There's tons of budget issues and they're way underfunded. Yeah. There is no doubt.